Hi, I'm Kanan, and welcome to the second vlog of the three-part series looking at my brand, Kanan Media, and kind of my pathway into the media industry. In this video, I am interviewing someone who's been in the television industry, Jeff Chapman, who now works full-time at Southampton Solent University as a training instructor, passing on what he's learned from his time in the industry to students at the university. In the interview, I asked him about kind of how he got into the industry, some of the stuff he's learned, some of the stuff he's worked on, and kind of how he looks at the current media landscape and how it's changed over time.
My name's Jeff Chapman. I'm one of the technical instructors here at Southampton Solent University.
What career have you kind of done? What kind of pathway?
My pathway really started after I did an HND in TV production, which was a fantastic course, very similar to all the courses we do here. I actually got a job as an AV technician in a high school, so I had to do all the computer networking, all the publicity photography, some theatre lighting, and just general AV work. And then I actually got a job, my love from looking at behind the scenes footage that some programs like Blue Peter used to do, where they showed the gallery and they showed the camera operators.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Like looking at behind the scenes, how did they make that film? How do they make a TV show? And then that's really cool. I want to do that. I want to.
Yeah, well, you see all these behind the scenes things, and they look interesting, don't they? They always look quite interesting, and it just makes the mind think, perhaps I'll try that.
Exactly.
I thought I'd go down that route, so eventually I got a job with a company called SSVC first, which was like an Armed Forces TV channel. So they produce a entertainment and news show for all the Armed Forces, British Armed Forces bases abroad. So I was a multi-skilled tech op there. I did a whole load of different things: lighting, cameras, VT, editing, and then I was lucky enough to go as a camera assistant quite often to do military training videos.
You picked up stuff.
Yeah,
afterwards?
I think joining SSVC opened a lot of doors, certainly because you had a multi-skill background which you could go down one route or another. I loved doing camera work, I loved doing editing, and then I thought, editing, stuck in a dark room all day. So then I was lucky enough to get a job for a facilities company called TX, Transmission TX, based out of Shepperton Studios, and they needed a camera operator for a strange new TV show called Teletubbies. Of all things.
So you worked on. So you worked on Teletubbies. What was your job on that? What was that about?
Well, my claim to fame is literally the fact that my very first proper official camera operating job was Teletubbies. It was just the nicest, easiest introduction to camera operating ever, because you had 4 people in giant suits moving relatively slowly. One camera was a wide shot and one camera was a mid shot, following them slowly around these hills. And we worked with professionals, really good directors and producers, and you learned your craft.
Yeah. So you were working for a production company. Did you ever go freelancing? Did you ever explore that? What did you prefer?
So yeah, the Teletubbies job was a staff job for starters, which was fine. You got paid overtime, you drive home, you get stuck in traffic and see everyone getting stressed, but you weren't stressed because you were on time and a half. So it didn't matter how much traffic there was. And in fact, it was better. And you got all the benefits of, we got supper allowances and all the rest of it. So a staff job in those days was really, really good. I think the reason I literally had to go freelance was when my boss said, they can't pay me every year a salary increase, because I got effectively to the top of the scale, and they have to earn a certain amount of money, and they said, we can't afford to do that, but we don't want to lose you. And then you do the maths, and when I went freelance, it literally, pretty roughly speaking, ended up me working half as much but for twice as much money.
And so you were earning more, but did you kind of miss working for a company? Was there extra stress?
The stress of being a freelancer is the hard thing. You have to be the right person. I was lucky in that, because through my job at TX, I didn't mention earlier, the 2 weeks of Teletubbies, and then you'd have 1 week doing lighting camera work and OB camera work. So it was a really nice mix. The OB and the documentary work, because I could do lighting, my boss actually sent me up to Birmingham on the weeks off to do doctors. So I was a DOP on doctors, quite a young one actually, one of the youngest for being a DOP, if you like, for daytime drama. So that was good in itself. But of course, eventually when you go freelance, that's all great because you're known by the producers, the production team, the directors all request you, if you do well, that is. And I just had a long stream of being almost overworked in freelance. So I earned an awful lot of money. And then you just get known, and then some producers go off and produce other programs, which is exactly what happened when I got into the bill. A producer went across and started producing the bill instead. So he brought two of us in from doctors to give the bill. His words were a more filmic look. So that was a good inroad in there. And of course, by that time I was freelance. So, you know, the pay went up a bit. The bill was great, fantastic time to think about lighting. But the point is, you know, when you are freelance, there is that little element of doubt where, what am I doing next week? I haven't got any work in, no one's phoned me. Oh dear, what am I going to do next week? So my answer to that was to play golf. I'm not joking. Was not the sort to go and do phone calls to people. Never did a phone call. I don't think I did very many phone calls in my life when I was freelance. I should have done, perhaps, but I wish I had. You know, that would be my advice for anyone trying to get in the industry. Be good at self-marketing, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you to Jeff once again, and that's the end of this video. In the next one, I'm going to be looking at kind of the stuff I talked about in the first video and stuff on this interview and how that's kind of how that's affected my kind of career ambitions in the future, what I want to do, what my conclusion is after all of this. So thank you for watching.